Good morning, everybody. Just waiting for Lingo Coins. Oh, he's here. Just going to get him up now. I've sent you a co-host request, Lingo. There we go. Can you speak, Vincent?
Hello, mate. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yep, perfect, mate. Perfect. We'll give it just half a minute. Let people start joining. It's recording anyway, but give us 30 seconds. All right then. Welcome everybody to the AMA with Maine. We've got Lingo Coins, Vincent from Lingo Coins today, and we're going to dive deep into what Lingo Coins are going to bring into the space. I've actually been working with them, I think nearly a year now, and they've got some real top names in the space actually involved. I'm really excited about this project. So, do you want to just give a quick, brief introduction of yourself, mate?
Awesome. Absolute pleasure. Thank you very much. I'm Vince. I'm the head of ambassador relations for Lingo. I've been with them for about a year and 2 months. I've been building my career in the blockchain space for the last 6 years. Haven't profited much financially from the space, but it's been the absolute spark to my life in terms of personal growth and career development. It's really when I came to understand how blockchain can disrupt every industry across the world, wherever there's need for trust. That's really when my spark grew. But yeah, in a nutshell, that's me.
Yeah, amazing, mate. So, how did you come about Lingo? Like, how did you get involved with Lingo then?
Awesome. Okay, that's quite a cool story. So basically, I made a friend. So I'm from South Africa, but I live on the tropical island of Mauritius. I've been here for about 14 years, and in 2018, about a year after I got into crypto, I made a friend here on the island named Marie Luce. She's a good friend of mine, and as you know, when you make a friend in crypto, there's never a shortage of conversation. So we've been friends for years, and she actually joined Lingo 6 months before I did. And at the time, I knew she joined some big fancy project, but she couldn't talk to anyone about it. I forgot about it. 6 months down the line, she realized she wanted to get me into the project. So she got permission from the CEO to talk to me about it. And when she called me that day, I remember I was very excited, not just because of the scope and scale of what Lingo is and what they're doing, but the fact that it originated here in Mauritius was very mind blowing to me because a lot of people haven't even heard of this island. There's a population of 1.3 million people. So the likelihood of a project of this magnitude starting here was, for me, it felt very, very small. So it was like destiny, and I just sort of like jumped on the CEO. But what was also quite interesting in the call is she told me who he was, and I've known of him and his family for more than 10 years. His family are very well known on the island for the import and export of luxury brands, all the luxury cars from Aston Martin, Ferrari, McLaren. It's a long list I can't remember, as well as Apple products. And he actually worked in the family business called the Rawat Group, and he worked there for about 4.5 years in marketing, left, and he became the master franchisee for the Subway franchise in South Africa and Mauritius. And it was actually last year when he finished selling all of them to get all in on Lingo. So yeah, it was a very organic way that I found Lingo. Destiny or not, yeah, it's been quite a ride.
That's amazing, mate. So, for anyone that's like new here, obviously I know all about the project. Do you want to just give a brief introduction of what Lingo Coins are going to bring into the space and how it will work?
100%. So where do I start? So basically, Lingo is a loyalty rewards program on steroids. We're building the world's first mainstream token with a use case that's easy to understand because we send people on vacation. It's less risky because our economic model is backed by real estate in a very cool way, which I'll tell you about in a moment. But yeah, we're essentially here to disrupt the loyalty rewards programs of the vacation industry, where typically people are expected to spend thousands of dollars over months, sometimes years, just to get a little bit of value in the form of a free flight or night in a hotel. So, yeah, let me tell you how it would work from a user perspective with Lingo. A user would buy our tokens once and then lock it in our application. Every month, they are rewarded with more tokens, a lot like staking. Nothing revolutionary yet, I get you. So the question is, where do those tokens come from and how they can be used? So before I answer that, we've actually raised $5 million in private investment, and we're seeking about 5 million more by the end of November, which is our pre-public sale, followed by our ICO. The point is, half of all the monies we raise in private investment goes towards real estate. The other half, operational runway. I can go into a lot of cool specifics about the real estate, but I'll save that for later if there's any questions on that. But the point is, we tokenize 100% of the profit from our real estate by buying back our own tokens from the open market every single month. Those are the tokens which are distributed to our community as rewards, and they can then use those tokens for staying at thousands of hotels from around the world that connect to our application, which is basically a multifaceted, it's a booking platform. And yeah, just like if you go on booking.com or Expedia, these are hotel aggregators with large inventories of hotels. And yeah, like Rachel Howells, who's the former managing director for booking.com, is one of our advisors. Her video testimonials on our website. But she was very instrumental in getting that API connection to be made. So as it stands right now, we've got about 100,000 hotels that will connect to our booking platform. Now, you as a user, when you want to go on holiday, whether it's at a hotel down the road or a hotel in Spain, you'll do it directly through the platform, book it through the platform. And the platform will sell your Lingo tokens back into fiat to pay the hotels in fiat. So the hotels have no exposure to a speculative crypto asset. That's number one. Number two, and this is really cool, the manner in which we accumulate additional real estate once we finished our investment rounds is through a 2.5% transaction fee or transaction tax. So year on year, just from trading volumes and transaction fees, we can accumulate more and more real estate, each of which is buying back from the market with 100% of its profit, which is then in turn also allowing people to go on vacation. So there's actually a very nice compounding element in terms of buybacks on the market and sending more people on vacation. And from those 2 points that I've just told you, the fact that we sell the tokens back into fiat to send people on vacation and the manner in which we accumulate real estate, you can surmise that the project does require sort of like optimized trading volumes. And we tackle that in a number of ways. But the sort of number one way, our unfair advantage, which is also how we are reaching the mainstream audience, is through our ambassadors. We've already onboarded more than 100 celebrities and mainstream influencers from around the world, comprising of sports stars, Netflix actresses, artists, magicians, you name it. These guys have more than 300 million people following them, predominantly non-crypto people. And while these guys are brilliant at what they do in the movies and the arts and everything else, they're not an authority to speak about blockchain or crypto. Therefore, none of them are actually creating content for us. They've been specifically contracted to share content once a week, every week, for 2 years minimum. And then we've got our blockchain crypto KOLs who create content for us on varied frequencies, but usually once a month for 2 years. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's Lingo.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I've actually seen some of the celebrity, the videos. Obviously, you shared with me, which it's really amazing to have such um, big exposure before you've even launched. So, I believe it's gonna be a really good project. So, do you want to tell people if they are interested, like if they want to get involved in Lingo, how will they get involved from now?
Yeah, so we already are putting a lot of effort in. We're going into our growth phase very shortly, and we are doubling down on our community growth efforts on Twitter and on Discord. I know that there'll be a really big giveaway of Lingo rewards in our Discord in the coming weeks. So we are looking to bolster our communities as we are talking to all the tier one exchanges. And obviously, they are looking at our community, the engagement. So yeah, we're doing everything that we can to foster that. So yeah, follow us on Twitter, join our Discord. That would be awesome. And then obviously, if you wanted to get involved in the pre-public round and all that, I mean, there's a lot of details to come. And yeah, we do have our ongoing private investment round, and there's a link on the website if anyone wanted to explore that.
Yeah, it's amazing, mate. I've had a quick question. So people are asking, um, so for them to receive like free rewards, like holidays and stuff, will it be totally random? So they'll stake tokens and then they'll get a chance of winning, or how will it work?
No, no. So it's nothing about chance here. It's a lot like staking. The more you stake, the more you get. You buy Lingo once, you lock it, and then obviously when our real estate is buying back from the market, that's distributed proportionally to those who have locked it in their wallet. And as they accumulate rewards, while they can use it to book their vacation stays, they can also unlock it and sell it for Bitcoin or USDT or whatever once we're listed. We do actually retain the speculative culture of the crypto space, but we focus on the utility and the rewards that we are giving.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, I'm just looking at the other questions. So obviously you have dived deep into this, but and like a simple question, how will Lingo make money?
Ah, cool, awesome. So there's a few things here. I mean, so right off the bat, we've got the 2.5% transaction fee. 70% of that is for the accumulation of real estate, 10% is marketing, and 20% is operational expenses and basically the team. And then there's also obviously the founders and equity holders. They gain ownership of real estate as it comes into the fold. And obviously, each real estate that does come in, there's that promise of 100% of rewards going back, being bought back. And everything is being done very, very publicly. So when we get our first real estate contracts and all that jazz, it's all going to be very nicely displayed so people can sort of follow the progress and follow the buybacks and all that jazz.
Yeah, that makes sense. So just on like as obviously crypto is volatile, isn't it? So how are you going to address and mitigate the volatility? Like obviously there's a lot of volatility associated with crypto. So for example, if Bitcoin does drop, etc., how are you going to like make sure Lingo is still in a good place?
Awesome. So as we all hope, we know the bull market is around the corner. And yeah, we're launching very soon. So let's just say that it's a bear market, and that would be in what, I don't know, 1.5, 2 years, maybe a little bit more, who knows. But by the time we get there, we should have accumulated, and I don't want to speculate on how much real estate, but we should have a decent portfolio of real estate assets. Remember that they are buying back every single month with that 100% profit. So regardless of the sentiment and the holders of the token, if the price is going down, then technically more tokens are being bought. And as time progresses, we're still accumulating more and more real estate, and that means more and more buybacks, regardless of market sentiment. So I think that's a really cool hedge and cushion for that.
Yeah, great answer, mate. So, and you are very lucky actually. And to be honest, it's timed it perfectly because obviously I've known you now coming on a year, and I think your team had this planned because you've seen how bad the market was, and it's worked out perfectly, really. Like you've done your pre-raise, private raise, and now you're ready to do public just as the bull market starts. So yeah, fair play. We've got another question here. How does Lingo address security concerns and protects like user assets? I think he means are all your contracts going to be audited, etc., which I think will be. But if you want to just touch on security.
Awesome. So I'll do my best. The developer side of things is not my forte, but I can tell you that with our tech team, I mean, we've got two top guys. Then both their names are Adrian. I call them Adrian Squared. And one of them is the former head of engineering at Consensus. And yeah, that we've just got a top tech team. We're going to be on Polygon. Hacken is going to be reviewing our smart contract. So yeah, I mean, I know all the necessary steps are being taken to sort of make sure everything is well secure, not just from the smart contract point of view, but as well as the actual application. I know that that's largely done, and there's a lot of back-end security testing going on right now with a few tweaks on the UI UX.
Yeah, perfect, perfect. So, what makes you different from other projects? Like, to be honest, I haven't actually seen another project like yours. I've seen real estate projects, etc., but I haven't seen any like that offer like holidays and stuff like you can book. So, I think that basically answers that question. But what you said is what makes Lingo different from other projects, and what does Lingo offer? But you have touched on this already as well.
Yeah, so let me answer this question with the reason that got the co-founders so bullish on Web3 and blockchain to begin with. And that actually came from the acknowledgement that blockchain is at twice the adoption rate of the internet in the 90s. And which is it's quite significant. And if we look at the evolution of the internet, in the early days, a lot of people thought it was just a fad. It wasn't really going to catch on. Even a few relatively smart people said that. But given the context of the situation, the value proposition was lost on most. The applications were very technical, hard to understand, and really only catering for that existing niche, which it was at that time, of people who knew IT and computers.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
And it's been recognized that blockchain is experiencing a lot of the same parallels with everything I just said. If we look at the blockchain applications over the last 10, 12 years, they've been very technical, hard to understand, from normie perspective, and really only targeting that existing crypto niche of crypto savvy, blockchain savvy people. And yeah, so basically a lot of research was done on two verticals. One, to determine what value proposition resonates the most with non-crypto people, and what are the barriers to entry or challenges. So in terms of the value proposition, it's found that most people work in jobs that they don't like so that they can maximize on their free time and their vacation time. Makes sense. I mean, we are creatures of comfort. And in terms of the challenges or barriers to entry, people find that crypto is too complicated and hard to understand, number one. Number two, it's too risky. And lastly, there's a lack of utility and tangible value. So that's how a lot of research was done, a lot of A/B testing on value propositions. And yeah, that's essentially how we got to, we want to send people on vacation and do it in a way where we are using real world assets to provide that anchor point, that security, and that not trying to suck value out of thin air as a lot of projects try and do with tokenization. So it's about having those real world assets, but then giving all as maximum value, 100% of that profit to the community. Because when you foster a community and you're driving value to your stakeholders, it's kind of like a no-brainer. And yeah, in a nutshell, that's it.
Yeah, that's an amazing answer. This question is more from me actually. I was just wondering, are you going to make it easier for like for just general people that don't really know about crypto? Will they be able to get involved? Like, because I know you've got a lot of celebrities involved, which are not crypto based. So how are you going to bring them into the space? Like, will they be able to, will they be able to benefit from the rewards without getting into crypto, or will you make like a non-custodial wallet, which so they don't have to buy crypto, or do you know what I mean?
100%. So look, remember, these guys are our main target audience. Right now, we are fully focused on the Web3 space for our private investment rounds. But I mean, technically, and with our celebrities and mainstream influencers, we're only kicking off with them at or after our ICO. So with regards to the normies coming into the space, we do not expect them to know how blockchain works. They're not going to have to go to an exchange to buy the tokens. People should be able to buy their tokens from our website or the application with credit card. We're going to have options. Obviously, if you have a MetaMask, you'll be able to connect like that. Credit card, minimal clicks. I mean, that's why a lot of work is actually being done on the UI UX in terms of making sure that everything is easy to understand and minimal clicking and navigation required to achieve what you want to do. But essentially, a person will buy their tokens, lock it, and then they've got they'll see their wallets, they'll see the accumulation of rewards, and all the hotels which are available to book at. And I've actually seen the second version of our app, which is really, really cool. I don't want to go into too many details, but it's got a really cool element where you've got your sort of own little island which grows as you accumulate tokens, and your island, you'll have like coconut trees and various little elements that grow as you accumulate points, just to sort of gamify it. But yeah, we're definitely aiming for the mainstream audience with a user UX UI that's easy to use and minimal understanding, no understanding of blockchain required.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. So people who got no crypto experience at all can literally go onto your website, buy the tokens, stake them without even knowing they're dealing with like crypto, really. So that's really good. That is really good. I've got another question. What is it a fixed supply, like the total number of your tokens? Will it be fixed, or will it be mintable? And how is the distribution at the moment? Like, what's your sort of tokenomics at the moment?
All right, so we will have a fixed supply of 1 billion, and we'll be on Polygon. I don't remember all the numbers. I mean, I work with the ambassadors. I remember that 8% of the supply are for the ambassadors. Um, what else did you ask me? So there's no burn mechanism, just in case someone else was wondering about that. No burn mechanism. We just got that transaction tax, and I've explained how that works. But yeah, 1 billion, 8% to ambassadors. I can't remember the other percentages, but that is on our deck. And we will be releasing our white paper soon. I know we did release a light paper, but I don't remember if all those designations are in there.
No, I don't. I didn't mean to put you on the spot anyway. Because at the end of the day, these are just questions from the community. We don't expect you to be able to say everything on the first AMA. So, obviously, if people are interested in what we're speaking about, then obviously they'll just follow your Discord, etc. But yeah, it sounds absolutely amazing. So who is the team behind it again for people that have just joined in? Because do you want to just explain that? Because I think that's an important part of how big this guy is.
100%. And sorry, I feel inspired to go on a slight tangent. In my journey, I did a lot of education on projects and try to help people recognize quality projects from the less quality projects. And I'd like to use an analogy. Like when you imagine looking at a race and you see a supercar and a McLaren supercar and maybe a family sedan. And if you had to guess which car would win the race, you would probably say the McLaren, given the information you have. But what if we put Michael Schumacher or in his heyday or Lewis Hamilton in the family car and we put the local janitor in the McLaren? I think everyone would be relatively confident that the family sedan would actually win. So, while tech and specifications are always, relevant things to look at, for me, it's the team that creates the magic. So, and what I love about Lingo is got both. So, yeah, I'm very excited to tell you about the team. And yeah, in our core team, we've got about 8 people. I mean, we've got our head of growth, Daniel, who's absolutely incredible. He does a lot of the growth hacking and working with all these different funnels with paid traffic, organic traffic, and all these different sources of users. Then we've got Adnan, who's our head of community, and he's worked on hundreds of projects in the past, and he's been absolutely fantastic with allowing that, what's it called, laying the foundational work with regards to Discord, the management of it, the mods, and also a lot of the strategies with the growth campaigns. Very, very cool to watch these guys work. And then we've got our chief commercial officer, Cindy, and yeah, she does all the pitching and meeting of investors. We've got Chris, who's our marketing executive, and he's also worked on a lot of projects, and he sort of executes on a lot of the marketing strategies, which are actually delivered by Milan. And Milan is the former head of partnerships at Binance. And it's been really, really cool to work with these guys. I know that I'm definitely missing someone. We've got Anna, who's our sort of executive ninja operations lady. She's very cool. And yeah, I'm definitely missing someone. Yeah, we've got our 2 Adrians who are our tech guys, and then we've got also developers outside who are developing various aspects of the application. I know that we've worked with Accubits for part of the application, and there's quite a few advisors that have helped in very key elements of the development of the project. As I mentioned, there's Rachel Howells, which helped us with the integration of the hotel chains and hotel aggregators. And then we've got a guy that's ex-Microsoft. I can't remember all the things, but yeah, it's quite something. But if you go on our website, we've got all of our links, our socials, and you can actually go and check. We've all got our history quite well documented, especially on LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's amazing, mate. It seems you got like a super team, and obviously I've researched the CEO, and it's yeah, I'm really excited about it to be honest. We've got one more. I'll take one more question from the community. It's from Jim. She wants to know, obviously, considering inflation and the rising cost of living and housing, does Lingo aim to keep the reward tokens at an adjustable rate that mirrors the costs associated with travel to ensure that the loyalty rewards are consistent with the economy? It's quite, it's quite a hard one, but
It's an interesting one. Okay, so we may need to re-clarify on the exact question, but I'll answer it as best I can. So let me give some insight into the type of real estate that we're buying and how we are utilizing it. So technically, we could purchase any real estate that generates a monthly rental yield in fiat, but we are specifically targeting short-term rentals within the hospitality industry for numerous reasons. I mean, it's very synergistic with everything that we're doing, the experience of our co-founders, which is extensive, but also very importantly, so that we can optimize for yield. I mean, while we could play with the property value in various ways, that's also not my forte. But what I understand is we optimize for the rental yield. So we are specific when we are buying real estate. It can be like an Airbnb, small hotels to begin with, and where do I go with that? So basically, I know that we aim for between 6 and 12% yield, and we also there's all sorts of criteria. So when we're purchasing real estate, it needs to be in an area that's what's classified as evergreen. So it's not seasonal bookings. For example, the first property we're aiming to buy is in Dubai next to the Palm, and that's like, fully booked throughout the year. So we're quite selective in the kind of real estate that we purchase, and it needs to meet certain criteria in terms of booking rates. It needs to be a crypto-friendly city, country, to a degree at least. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
that's amazing, mate. That is really, really impressive. So obviously, and that will also help if people actually book using your token in your own establishment. It's going to be a win-win, isn't it, for Lingo, really?
100%. Everything's about the win-win.
Yeah, really impressed, mate. Really impressed. Just going to see if there's any more questions because give me one sec. No, basically, I think we've touched on most things now, to be honest, mate. I think you've done an amazing job. And I really am looking forward to seeing how it grows, to be honest. So just to quickly touch back down on things, when does the token sale go live, or isn't that really announced yet?
So I do have a very tight window frame in mind. I'm not going to mention it, but it's soon. It's very soon. I mean, as my CEO would say, it's all about optimizing your chances for success. So in terms of being optimally positioned within the market cycle, we've got our fingers on the pulse in multiple sources and multiple advisors, and we are quite closing in on something specific, but I'm not going to mention that. But it's soon.
I just want you to quickly touch on something as well, because I've seen quite a few worries about because you're giving tokens out to like celebrities and ambassadors and stuff. Can you just touch down that they obviously there's a massive clause in this because I think this worries people because they think people are getting free tokens, but I'm sure there's that they don't get the tokens for a few years or something, isn't it?
Yes, thank you. If I didn't touch on that, I'm very glad that question came up. So, for our celebrities and mainstream influencers who are sharing content, their token allocations are locked outright for 2 years. That gives the project a 2-year runway without significant selling pressure, so that we can accumulate as much yield generating real estate as possible to absorb that selling pressure 2 years down the line. I mean, reputation is absolutely everything. For us, the team who are fully doxed, our ambassadors, our celebrities. So yeah, we have taken some significant measures to make sure that, we're giving ourselves the best chance of success.
I think that's massively important to actually touch base on. Yeah, so the as he just said, the celebrities and stuff, their tokens will be locked for 2 years. All their work they do will not be they will not be able to be paid for the first 2 years. So that gives people, a long time period to think about if the future of Lingo is going to be a success before the tokens are unlocked anyway. So I think that's really important to note, to be honest.
And besides that, I can tell you right now that it is quite a feat to be able to get a lot of the guys that we have got on to commit to 2 years of sharing posts without any remuneration. A lot of these guys charge $50,000 for a post. So a lot of trust was garnered to get the support that we did with the guys that we have. So that's just the underlying thing I wanted to also convey.
And not just that, because they're getting paid in tokens, these tokens they can go and book for any holiday in Dubai and stuff like that. So, as long as the project's a success, then they don't, they're not necessarily going to sell the tokens. They could use them on the market to go and have a holiday and stuff. So, a lot of the celebrities you've got are probably like a financial position where they will not need to sell the tokens. So, and obviously by committing to something for 2 years. That I find that amazing because you see all these projects that come into space lately. They give like 30 to 40% of their tokens to influencers, etc. Yeah, they have a good pump, but it always goes to a dump because the tokens are not locked, or the tokens are only locked for 30 days, etc., etc. And then the project dies. So you've done it really good, to be honest. Like for them to not get any tokens for 2 years, etc. I think you're on for a win-win there, especially if you can accumulate as much property which is generating revenue. So yeah, hats off to you, mate. It's really good.
Yeah, look, I mean, nothing's guaranteed in life, and we tell that to everyone that comes on board. But I mean, when you look at everything that we do have a lot of ducks lined up. I have no doubt that we are going to face challenges here and there, but that's part of the spice of life. And yeah, I think that's why I'm very excited with the team that we have, because at the end of the day, if you've got a solid team, there shouldn't be much that's unsurmountable.
Yeah, totally agree. And what we'll do, once you've got a final date of when this sale's going live, we'll get on another AMA and just touch base again. But unless you've got anything else you want to touch on, I think we've covered most of it now.
No, well, I'll just say that it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much. And I do know that my CEO would have loved to have actually spoken at this space. But the whole team, we are actually in back-to-back meetings every single day. Since we actually got back from Dubai on Sunday, or I got back from Sunday evening, and it's just back-to-back meetings. After this, I got a really cool meeting. But yes, for the next space, let me know. We'll try and get our CEO on the call. I know he would love that.
Yeah, 100%. On the next one, we'll make sure that, your team's free. Obviously, because I've been working with you for a while, it was just nice to get you on as a friend as well. So, yeah, thanks for everyone that's joined, and it's been a pleasure, mate. And we'll touch base again when you're coming up to your launch.
100%, mate. Thank you very much for that opportunity, and we'll catch up soon.
Cheers, guys, and everyone have a good day or night. See you later.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.